This is Sound Off 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play.
And that's key.
If that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me?
Hey.
Without me? All
That
right.
might be the
Hey.
dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I
are
like the way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit.
Look.
It did not.
All right,
McCarran.
So you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
What you put
With me? Without me?
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Welcome back to Sound Off 60 at Jack Daniel's at Lauberge Casino Border. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Guys, I don't know if 60 minutes is going to do it.
We're going to need more than 60 minutes. I
I
promise.
mean, this is going to have to stretch
We're going to need
maybe
more than
2
60
hours.
minutes. Yeah.
It only takes 1 second.
Boy, I tell you, you set me up for that one.
Okay, Scoot. Give it to me,
You
Scoot.
set
Give
me
it
up
to
for
me.
that one. All right. It's going to take longer than 1 second.
That's all it takes is 1
We
second.
don't follow
baby.
the Nick Saban
A
rule.
lot
One
can
second.
happen in
A
one.
lot
You
can
can
happen
pack
in
a
1
lot
second.
into 1
Now that
second.
you brought that in, I mean, gosh, we have the, I'm going to call it the dream drive. We got the, 2 weeks ago,
You know-
what is it called? The immaculate
Yeah.
deflection
Yeah.
at
Prayer
Auburn.
and Jordan here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prayer and Jordan here. Now, I don't know. What do you call the field
I don't
goal
know.
return?
That's-
The fantastic finish
Yeah.
sounds kind of boring.
But you know what,
I don't
though?
know.
Do you-
Saban
do you-
surprise? It's just crazy.
Do you question
crazy.
Saban for actually questioning that minute left? I mean, do you question
The
him for doing
second.
that at second? Do you question him for doing
Why
that?
would you question it?
I mean, you get the chance to get the ball back, right? But just thinking.
All right.
The
We're
big
going to
topic.
get into that
The
later.
big topic around water coolers all across the
Oh, I'm
country
1 second.
was
1
the
second.
ending
I
of the
kid
Iron
you
Bowl,
not.
Alabama and Auburn. Let's spend about 12
I mean,
and
a
a
lot
half
of people
seconds.
call it the greatest finish in
It had to
sports
be.
history.
It was great. I don't know if it'd go
But
that
you know
far.
what?
But all right, let's go with the basic question here before we move to LSU and McNeese and get more localized. Do you kick it or do you Hail Mary? I want opinions because I want to give you mine.
apparently
Do you kick it or Hail
Saban
Mary?
had more knowledge than what we had because this kid was making them at 60. So I guess Saban said, you know what,
But
my
he's only
chances.
kicked like 3 in his collegiate
But-
career. But no, okay.
Saban was asked
Right.
that question. He said he can kick him at 60.
You're Saban. I'm not talking about
Okay,
Saban. What do you
I'm
do?
saying-
The odds of making a 57-yard field goal are better than a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
What do you do, Kevin?
You kick it.
You kick it.
You kick
What
it.
do you do?
You kick it.
You go for it?
I said you
With
kick
a
it. The
young
guy can make
kicker-
him at 60. You kick
With a
it.
young kicker who hasn't really kicked a whole lot.
A Hail Mary is
He's
gonna.
from Poland. He didn't know what was going on.
I don't know. He had to know. He had to know.
No, but the thing is, you know, when you look at it, and you know, granted, Saban's a smart guy, but
Not smart enough in this case.
But when you look at it, everybody know that when you do field goal, you gotta know that those are wide body guys to keep from
Okay,
anybody
you're getting
coming
more
into block.
into it, but we're going to get into
I
that.
knew he would do that.
I know that. Look, I agree. For once, this has to be historic.
The
here.
other coach was
I
smarter
agree.
when it came to that. He was
A
smarter.
57,
He put somebody back there.
56-yard field goal. You
I
take
don't
your
know.
shot.
It's
You
a
take
coin.
your
It's
shot.
basically a
Yeah.
coin flip. I want to
Now,
get
maybe,
into that more.
maybe Saban thought it would be one of those fantastic, unbelievable kicks. You got to give it to the kid. He gave it a great effort.
He did.
Got it up in the
No,
air.
he did. He did.
was 5 or 6 yards short, whatever it was.
He
Well,
did.
He wasn't that short.
He wasn't
It
that
was-
short.
it
No,
was
he
a
caught
great
this.
effort.
He caught it in the back of the end
It
zone.
was a
I mean,
great,
it wasn't that short.
effort on the kick. So we teased you. We'll get more into
Yeah. Oh,
Alabama
we definitely
and
wanna
Auburn
talk some more
and
about
what
that.
an unbelievable game that was later on in the show. McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemfield will join us on the show tonight at Jack Daniels.
Yes.
Also, Barb head coach Mike Cotrera will talk about the Bucks exit from the playoffs and what's
Yeah.
in store for the Bucks. So we got a lot to talk
We
about.
do.
A lot to
We
talk
do.
about. All right, I call it the Dream Drive. All right, what will it go down in
Dream
LSU historical lore?
Well,
99 yards with a
probably not.
freshman quarterback.
I have to say I was impressed, honestly. Scooter's probably seen a lot more of those than I have, but just to look at a young quarterback coming in, the kid didn't know what was going on. It's like Zach
Might
went
have
down.
been the key.
Zach went down.
Ignorance is bliss.
Coach said, "Get your helmet, son. You're going in." It's like okay, but just the poise that he showed on those two little dump passes impressed me because that's
I'll say
pressure.
he is
That's pressure.
From talking, I think I talked with him one time before after
Him
Yeah.
being Anthony Jennings.
Jennings.
And he is a very well-spoken, mature kid to be
Yeah.
and he's a true freshman.
Yeah.
Keep in
Freshman.
mind. I mean, as far as I don't know how I would. it was probably the most unlikely drive. I mean, when that ball rolled dead on the half-yard line,
Yeah.
That
you
was
couldn't have
unbelievable.
found
No way,
5 people
Scooter.
in that stadium thought LSU
No
had a
way,
chance.
Scooter. No way.
And,
Unbelievable kick.
No.
and,
Unbelievable.
I mean,
And, you know,
the thing about it is, and like Miles was saying after the game, well, Cam Cameron, utilized his talents, blah, blah, blah. They're on the half-yard line. You can't hide him. You
can't hide him.
can't just
Yeah.
hand the ball to
you
Jeremy
better,
Hill. At
you
that
better call the
point.
right play.
Yeah.
You got 99 and a half yards to go. Your quarterback's got to make
Yeah.
the plays.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there was nowhere to hide him.
No, it wasn't.
They had to. I mean, it will go down as one of the better moments. I don't know how it'll stand the test of time because really not a whole lot was on the line.
No.
Yeah.
But let's assume. I think how that drive is remembered is going to depend on what kind of player Anthony Jennings.
Good
If
point.
he goes
Exactly.
on to become a really great player,
Yeah.
everybody remembers.
Everybody knew that was a start.
Give the player his due.
That was a start.
I mean,
I agree.
they're inside the one,
Yeah.
okay, inside the one, and you can't make mistakes, obviously.
No. Game's
and
over.
this is to win the game. And you talk about the dump passes, but the critical play, outside of the 21-yard scramble, which was a good quick
Yeah.
decision on his part. But you can do it because you played the game at that level. He's back there, and he sees the other, is he a redshirt or true freshman? The other freshman receiver open
Yeah.
up. I mean, you got to make the throw. I mean, you got to
you
give him
do,
a shot at
but-
the pass.
But the
sometimes when they're wide open, that's the toughest.
Exactly
throw to
my
make,
point.
too.
Exactly my
But let me
point.
just
His
say, guys,
eyes must have been like this.
even the throw, and if you guys look closely at the catch was like, I mean, he just like, you could have easily
he
dropped
dropped
that.
it in there nice, but he dropped it in
but I mean,
there.
you could have easily dropped that too as the receiver. But just to go back and say, coaches must have had a lot of faith in this kid. Like Scooter said,
What do you
not
mean
a whole lot.
of faith? They didn't have any choice.
Well, I know, but not a whole
think
lot was
Beckham might have
riding
been
on
on
it
the
for the
sideline.
fact that it wasn't going to be some game that it was going to be for a national bid or whatever. But the fact of the matter that they had that much confidence in the kid to throw the passes
It
they
didn't
threw with
matter
him.
if they did or didn't.
Well, it didn't.
right,
But
that's it.
for him to do what he did with that, you got to credit the kid, like you said, Rick. I mean, you got to credit the kid. He did a great
What
job.
was really cool, and
I was impressed.
It's rare. Sometimes I think when I go down to the locker room, well, not actually the locker room, the interview room afterwards, sometimes I think it's a waste of time. Oh, I just want to do what I can.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to hear LSU had that play, even though they really hadn't run exactly that play as I understand it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, how you mix routes.
Tsunami
Yeah.
is what you're reporting?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
And but they kind of had that play in their back pocket. They were convinced.
Well-
from what Arkansas was doing, I mean, Jarvis Landry had been telling them for 2 series, tsunami,
Yeah.
tsunami, and
Yeah.
I give
Well, he
Jarvis
drew the
Landry
attention.
some
He
credit.
drew the attention too.
He kept begging for him to call a play where he's a decoy,
Right.
not
He kept-
calling his number.
No, and you're right, Scooter, because
and
him-
I just love Jarvis Landry. I think he's one of the best kids
He's a
that's
good
ever
kid.
played at LSU.
Yeah.
One of the toughest. And
He is
my
tough.
gosh, because of the drive, nobody remembers that catch he made. Now.
Yeah. But
Which was the best ever.
I-
He's made some
that
unbelievable
was a heck of a
catches.
catch, though. He did. It was a heck of a catch.
I mean,
but
now wait a minute. Now the other subplot to this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Mettenberger was hurt on that throw.
Yes.
On the great
Yeah.
catch. So
Correct.
here,
Yeah.
Mettenberger, late in the game, as you reported, strained knee, hyperextended knee, an injured
Yeah.
knee. The other subplot to Zach Mettenberger is not bred in Louisiana and
Yeah.
bleeds purple and gold.
Yeah.
And you reported and they showed it on TV.
He was-
the
he was-
tears
like a
just
baby.
streaming
he was
down his face.
he was
I mean,
he was
that's-
emotional.
I mean,
he
that-
was.
That's a great story.
It is, and I
It
don't
was.
know.
And
I
you're
was
pretty
sitting there
cynical.
watching.
You're a
it.
cynical
I know.
old
I'm not
fart.
gonna.
You're a cynical old
That's
whatever,
no crying
whatever.
in football.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, you could see there was a lot of emotion there, and it was from
Yeah.
the heart. Not
Yeah.
just him. I mean, the guys around him, the guys that kept coming up,
Yeah.
the hugs and everything. There was something there,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
No, I
Will he
can
play
see what
again?
Scooter's saying.
Will he play again? Can he?
Well, you know
for a
how
bowl game?
LSU is with
They won't
injuries.
tell
I
you
guess
right
we'll
now.
know at the kickoff of the
kickoff.
Yeah.
bowl
Okay.
game.
All right.
It's supposedly, he's having MRI.
It's gonna be interesting, yeah.
I'm gonna.
And that was the
now
bad knee,
Beckham
too.
Should definitely be there. Beckham just had a hip point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess, that he's gonna be able to play.
Okay.
You know.
Got 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. A lot going on,
Yeah.
guys. All right, we covered We covered
That was
the
too
teaser
quick. We
portion
still
of
didn't
the
get enough
Iron
in on
Bowl,
that one.
The fantastic finish that it was at Jordan-Hare Stadium and LSU. When we come back in about 2.5 minutes, it's the Cowboys back in the FCS playoffs after about a 3-year hiatus. We got playoff football and Cowboys to talk about when we come back. Stay
Good
right
for the Cowboys.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21, Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? Hey. We don't have a reservation.
Right this way. Welcome. Welcome. Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There. Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60. All right, welcome back to the show here at Jack Daniel's at Lauberge Casino. Coming up around Christmas, that would be December 25th and 26th. It's homegrown comedy right here at Jack Daniel's with our good friend Jen Kober. It's up to you.
Just made Kevin blush. You made Kevin
sure she gets on that Monday before. What would be what? Like, it's got to be like December 22nd, something like that.
Yeah.
Get Kober on the show. Got a lot to talk about, Kevin. All right.
He's
You and her are like
blushing
this,
already.
right? You and her are like this, all right? That'll be fun. Jen Kober,
That's my girl.
homegrown comedy, returns to Jack Daniels around Christmas time. Get your tickets now. It'll be a fun time.
Gonna be some good
with
shows,
her
yeah.
and the holidays. Can you imagine her in a Santa suit?
Yeah.
And a mini skirt Santa suit. We need to get her in that.
First
a mini
time, I
suit,
promise
a
you.
mini skirt Santa
That would
suit. Jen
that would be
Kober.
special.
All right,
that
the
would be real
McNeese
special.
Cowboys, they know who they're playing. It's
Yes.
Jacksonville State, who just walloped Samford over the weekend,
I know.
55-14, in a battle of Northern
you
Alabama.
serious? I mean,
so to
was
speak.
that-
Yeah, they just.
That was.
All right, so it's
Well,
Jacksonville
this
State,
is one of
Saturday
those,
night, 6 o'clock.
This is one of those no huddle, up tempo,
Yeah.
wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be crazy.
Oh, it is.
It is.
It is.
And
it's a whole different brand of ball right there.
You know, they're not extremely balanced. If you look at Jacksonville's numbers, and they skew heavy toward the run game.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a runner that's DeMarcus James, 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty
it's
decent.
heavily weighted for on the rushing side.
Yeah.
Heavily weighted. And the one thing that in Matt Viator's press conference today was, here's what they do. They run the ball. They like it up tempo. They got to run through a quarterback. They multiple front, all this different X's and O stuff. It's nothing, according to Viator, it's nothing they have not seen before.
No. It's just
they
not
played against
seeing
this already this year.
Who did he compare most to? I mean, somebody had to ask that
defensively, it was Alabama. What is that? Western Alabama.
That Western Alabama team was wild
very
too.
Good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Offensively, he didn't draw a comparison. He did not draw a comparison. But defensively,
I know Stephen F. Austin was crazy, wild.
He was throwing the ball 70 times.
Yeah.
This is a team that
It's going to be interesting.
That's going to run the football.
More like an up-tempo Auburn, I guess you would say.
There you go.
It's going to be interesting.
Kevin, I posed a question to Matt. How do you go into, now that you have Jacksonville State, you've got the game film, you know what you do. What do you focus on? In games like this, what did you guys in the past focus? Did you really key in on the opponent, or did you say, look, we just got to get better at what we do?
Yeah, and Rick, you know what? That's true in itself, because what you've done was good enough to get you there.
That's right.
So don't change from that. That old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But the thing with Matt and them, I think, seeing something different such as that, and they've seen it with a few teams they played this year, but that up-tempo offense, you've got to be careful that you keep them within the boundaries of what you want to do, and don't let things get away from you. Because a lot of times, Rick, you know what? They'll have people in there that you can't make adjustments for because of the tempo of the game.
Right.
And they're going to allow times for substitutions. But the thing is, you've got to make sure you've got your people in that can cover their people.
You hit on a key word and look, I'm not overplaying this.
That's the whole reason in doing it, is to confuse you.
We talked with Matt Viator a week ago, and the whole thing about them being 0-3 in the playoffs. This team is not 0-3. Matt Viator, and he owns up to it.
Yeah.
He's 0-3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a very smart angle he took on that, by the way. I mean, I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I give him a lot
Keep
of
it
credit
off the players.
Yeah.
These guys
Let
are
them
not
go play and
actually,
have fun.
And
I
that
didn't
is cool.
realize
I agree.
this, but
I agree.
two players that they currently have on the roster, Javars Murray and Hayden Dobbs, a linebacker,
the only two.
running back and linebacker, are the only two that have seen they played against New Hampshire. That was the very last
playoff at all.
But speaking of New Hampshire and speaking of the keyword adjustments, if you think back, okay, take Montana out of it, okay? That in 2006 they had to go to Montana.
Right.
They were number 2. They had to go into Cola, Montana. That's going to be a tough task. But if you call Eastern Washington and you call New Hampshire, they just didn't seem prepared for what they brought to the table. Now maybe they knew what they were going to do in the game.
Right.
But all of a sudden, it looked like McNeese in both situations were like, oh my gosh, they're doing this, they're throwing here, they're running here, the quarterback's moving out. Adjustments.
That's key, Rick. And the thing is, Rick, when you're moving at that fast of a tempo, mentally you've got to be sound. You can't second guess yourself, because you're done if you do. Right. So the key that I think Matt is going to focus on this week is that, I mean, it's got to be like this.
Right.
If you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed. Don't think about it and sit there and look, because it's going to go by you. That's what I was always taught. If you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed.
I thought it was interesting. His comment was, what are you working on to improve the Cowboys? It was fundamentals.
Yeah.
Timing.
And that's it,
Timing between the quarterback and the running backs and receivers. Fundamentals, techniques, and tackling.
Look,
it's getting down to the basics.
This is what I think. If they can get McNeese back on their heels early on, I think that's going to lend them to do more confusion, because they feel that's what's going to be effective to overtake McNeese. But if McNeese can get ahead on them, 14-0, I think, Rick, to a degree, I think that tempo would change, because what they're going to say, it's not working.
Well, McNeese can run the football too. Now,
so
the flip side of it is
they've got to get up on them.
This is a ball-controlled Jacksonville. They proved it against Stanford.
Oh, that's what they want to do.
The key that was brought up to Viator today was, you better not fall behind.
Yeah.
Because if
that's
you fall
my point,
behind and they sit there and have an 8-9,
that's my point.
Ball again.
You may not see the ball again.
That's my point, Rick. So
that's going to be critical.
You know, but I think Matt and them's got a great team, and I think they've got some talented athletes, and it's just going to be interesting. I don't want to say too much, but it's just going to be interesting.
This is a TV show.
It is.
To say too much. I never thought I'd hear him say, I don't want to say too much.
But before the game is played, I guess is what I'm saying, Scooter. But, you know, the point that you bring up, Rick.
McNeese this year. If he won't talk, I'll
I will. I will. But
no.
It's just.
You said you didn't want to say too much.
You have your soapbox. You have your
Sit over there. I beg you.
He shut me down, Rick. He shut me down.
You said did you hear it? We got to run the tape.
To a degree. But
why do you like him?
I do.
No, I can agree with Scooter.
I don't know. I guess I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this doesn't seem like those other teams.
Yeah.
This team does have a confidence, and I don't think the past frustrations they've had in the playoffs come to rest on these guys.
None of these kids even know about it, but that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got a good feeling.
Yeah.
When you look back, and I guess what I'll say is that for some reason we talked about it early on, when Lance Guidry came on board, we kept looking for that swagger.
They got some swagger.
Yeah.
But look,
I feel good about
you're
that.
big on the swagger on the
I feel
defensive
good about
side.
it.
This is a defense, though. This is a defense that's middle of the road in the conference.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to give up some chunks between
They do.
the 20s.
They do.
But when it's crunch time, they play some. They'll keep some people out of the end zone. They do that.
And Rick, looking at them from the offensive side of the ball game, I think that they're a little bit more suitable to making adjustments, not based on being so one-dimensional like they have been in the past.
No.
And I think that's key, because if we can throw it, by God, we're going to run it.
Well,
and if we can't run it, we're going to try and throw it. So
bottom line,
I think that's going to be key, Rick. That's going to be key, not being one-dimensional.
Bottom line, again, I go back to August 2, I think it was. My humble opinion, this team goes as far as Cody Stroud can take it.
Yeah.
And it rests. I'm not saying the entire thing falls on that quarterback's shoulders, but he is
the majority of
most
it does,
important
Rick.
player
The majority
on
of it does.
on that team and on that field when it comes to that side of the ball. But again, the other side of it, as we saw in Auburn and Alabama, one of the differences you point out that Viator said right here 2 weeks ago, he's getting contributions from both defense, special teams, and offense. Deontay Spencer could play a huge role if he breaks one, or if he just breaks one for 20, 30 yards on a punt return.
You could have had Heisman Trophy winners on both sides of that ball. Guess what? A little lonely team, special teams player won that game that nobody even knew about.
Well, he got
bottom
my,
line.
yeah, he got my
Heisman. And nobody knew about him, and he won the game. He won the game.
Again, I posed a question to Matt.
Chris Davis,
Heisman Trophy. Yes.
I said, Matt, put yourself in Jordan-Hare Stadium. What would you have done?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he had to say later on in the show, because I thought it's
pretty interesting.
Matt will do, he looked at it from a very X's and O's and said, this is what really was the key to that play, and I'll share that with you later on in the show. All right, we're going to take a short pause. We'll come back to Jack Daniels at Lauberge after this, about 2.5 minutes. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Begless Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatment you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
All right, welcome back to the show. Mike Cotrera, head coach of the Bar Bucks, is with us to wrap up a great year, but a year that will not end in the Superdome like last year. Congratulations, though, on a good year, but Acadiana.
Couldn't get past Acadiana.
Yeah. Two losses to them. What, 1 or 2 points earlier in Lafayette, but this one had a little bit wider margin. Keys to that game Friday night.
We didn't get turnovers. We needed to get turnovers from them, and we didn't get them. They are very good on the offensive line, defensive line, and their skilled people are very athletic. And we just couldn't get turnovers.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but third down. Guidry and I were in the press box. You had ample 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and they kept getting third down conversions.
Yes, and that was another key too.
And
that's what we talked. And that's what we talked to the kids about. We got to get them in that situation, because with the type of offense they run, they don't like that. And we got them in that, but we just didn't make stops. Now we did make stops in the second half when we needed to, but You know, it's just too
They
little,
don't
too
call
late.
them the wrecking Rams for nothing. You know?
Yeah.
They just plow ahead. They just keep plowing ahead.
And that's the thing too. You can't simulate that kind of stuff in practice.
Yeah.
The way they come off the ball and the way the backs run and all that stuff. It's a very difficult offense to stop.
Yeah. How much of an advantage, Coach, you would say size-wise? I mean, Rick and I was looking at some of the guys in the program. Had some pretty big bodies out there for KDN.
Yes, they are very big.
Up front.
You know, They even look bigger the second time around.
Yeah.
Well, they grew a little bit.
Yeah.
No, he's right.
And Rick and I was commenting on one of the guys for KDN. I can't call the kid's name right now, but number 10, the quarterback and the free safety. He didn't leave the field.
No.
I mean, did it come a point in time, Coach, where your staff was looking at this kid as maybe he started fatiguing, he started cramping up a little bit, and if I've got Trey Quinn, I'm saying I'm going to run him till his legs fall off. I mean, did that ever come into mind where you guys felt like y'all should have went at him a little bit more?
Well, and we went after him.
Yeah,
But
you did.
And we knew, because he started cramping up.
He did.
And we knew that would happen if he continued to play. Now, they would take him out some on defense, but, you know, he's a very good athlete.
He is.
You know,
he is.
And, we just felt that if they did that, he would get tired.
Yeah.
And he did, but not tired enough.
He still made plays.
Well, you talked about their offense was, you know, kind of quirky, hard to prepare for. Yours is too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of an era has gone with this Trey Quinn, Ken Fontenot. Do you think the offense will be the same at Barb with those two? It seemed like they played for 10 years.
Yeah, I know, and I wish we had it for another 10, you know. The group that we had, a group of seniors that we had, we're losing 37 seniors, so you know, that's a big group to replace. Not just those two guys, but as the group as a whole. But, you know, we'll continue to do the same thing.
Yeah. Fontenot, Quinn. Look at the numbers. You know them better than anybody. Fontenot, over 10,000 yards passing, over 100-yard touchdowns. Quinn, the national record for passing yardage. He's not that far off in receptions as well.
One short, right?
Is it one short?
Yeah.
Newspaper board comes through. The most prolific offensive duo in the history of high school sports in Louisiana.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
Look at the
numbers. You can rank them up there with you know, they rank up there with the Evangel guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on, you know a bit of the history of it. I mean, Booty, Booty and Booty?
No.
Didn't they have a great year?
Well, they only played 1 year, I think, together. I think Josh was a senior when Abram was a freshman or something like that. I don't remember who Abram's main quarterback was.
I know.
But when you're talking about those types of people, you can put those two guys in that that same category.
Look, this is tough because, you know, you mold young guys and you want to motivate and inspire, but I don't know if Barb can ever see that kind of combination of talent on the field again. Can you?
I hope so.
That's a good answer, Coach.
You know what we're trying to do too. I think we're trying to clone those two, so we'll get 4 more years out of them. But you know, and that's the way our program is. We, you know, somebody else is going to have to step up. You know, and I think those two guys provided leadership to the younger guys, and those younger guys know what it takes to get there.
Give me an insight to their competitiveness, their determination, their spirit. I mean,
those two guys are very special and very competitive people, and they make those other guys around them very competitive. You know, and you know, as good as players as they are on the field, they're even better people off the field. You know, very humble. You know, always give the credit to their teammates. You know, they're just two guys that we're going to truly miss.
And Coach, you know, looking at the game on Friday, Rick and I, one of the things that we noticed in just looking at the numbers that you guys have on the sideline and everything, you can do a lot more things with the talent that you've got there at Barb than a lot of local schools here that don't have that type talent. How much of an advantage you feel by losing the Keenan Fontenot and the Trey Quinn, losing those two, but having other people that you know that could maybe not be as good right now, but to know that you could plug somebody else in and do some things a little bit different.
To losing them is.
Well, no, to have somebody to put in those guys' place, but to maybe start doing something a little bit different because you knew what your keys were by having those two, and I mean, you did what they did best, and that's find each other open, and having other guys in place to possibly do something like that. What advantage you think you could possibly have from that to do something different maybe
Well,
from what you've done in the years past?
And that's the key to coaching. You know, we have to evaluate the talent that we have and do what's best for those guys to make them successful. So, you know, if we have to run the ball more, then we'll run the ball more. If we have to throw the ball more, we'll throw the ball more.
And that's what I'm.
One last question, because I get this a lot. We know Trey Quinn's going to LSU. I'm sure he'll have a great career. Keenan Fondo's going to play baseball at Oklahoma State. I know he's not the tallest guy around. Were you surprised he didn't get more college interest as a quarterback?
Yes.
And what were his feelings on that, to the best of your knowledge?
I don't know about Kenan. Loves baseball, but I always told him, you know, you could play college football. Like, you know, and I think that the size, they always do the size factor at the next level. But you know, he reminds me of, you know, Johnny Manziel. Yeah, he is that type of kid.
Reminded me of Manziel.
You know, and you look at the pro quarterbacks. Drew Brees. They say he's 6 feet. He's not 6 feet. Yeah. You know, Manziel's not 6 feet.
No.
But those guys can play. And Wilson from Seattle, he's not 6 feet.
Yeah, the Saints are going to find it out tonight that he's not 6 feet.
We'll get into that later.
You know, I think Kenan can play at the next level.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was a little.
He's happy with baseball.
Yeah. He loves baseball more.
Mike, we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
Great year.
Thanks for having me.
Acadiana?
You'll be back, Coach. You'll be back.
Acadiana, okay. We'll catch you in August, all right? Have a great off season. Mike Cotrera with the Bar Bucks. Back in about 2 minutes. Stay right here.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? Hey. We don't have a reservation.
Right this way. Welcome. Welcome. Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There. Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to sit closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. Don't forget, every Tuesday it's karaoke night with David Verrett, the master of ceremonies, the master blaster, if you will. During the holidays, nothing wrong with doing some karaoke. Get the vocal cords warmed up here at Jack Daniels. Always a fun time. Got the lovely ladies here at Jack Daniels serving some great food all through the holidays.
Somebody told me, but I don't know who it was. It's a good friend of mine, big LSU guy, said that he was in OB's one night, and that was a young man that's sitting between the two of us, Rick, that did karaoke, and he said he was pretty impressive. I don't know who the guy is, but somebody told it to me, though. So I wish we could get that tape.
Oh, there's a tape?
Yeah, it's a tape that's out there. It's a tape that's out there.
It's not just for special friends.
For special friends. All right, gentlemen. We're going to get on the BCS and how it lays out. It'll take us another hour to figure out all the maneuvers.
Can we all agree on this one thing?
What?
There's nobody in America that can beat Florida State.
Oh, you are so wrong.
Can we all agree on that?
Hadn't playing anybody, Kevin.
You beat everybody by 50. What it matters?
Hadn't playing anybody.
So was Oregon until they played somebody.
Come on.
I don't know.
I love this argument. I love this argument. I love it.
Give them their due.
They are.
Same thing with Ohio State.
Honestly, Rick.
They're unbeaten, but who have they played?
Looking at the talent, skill of Florida State.
They got some skill. I'd have loved to seen Alabama, Florida State. Love to have seen.
How do you control that?
a better defense.
Rick, they possibly got 7 guys.
Anybody can have a bad day. We have learned that.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
You can have a bad day.
But
I mean, because for all the talk of that last play, I don't think Alabama played their best game.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. And it was that close.
I'm going to say this.
And it was that close.
Because there's only 1 second of that game that matters.
Did
Just
Nick
before that kick, I'm sitting there watching TV, and just at the bottom of the screen, you can see the top of an Auburn helmet in that end zone. And I swear,
I'm telling you,
I thought he may have a chance to Odell Beckham here. Remember
Scooter.
Beckham did it?
Against,
you realize,
UAB, I think it was, right?
because we did the research when Beckham did it, that was only the 3rd time in history. First time since the mid-1960s.
Wow.
So now it's happened 4 times in history.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are this year.
Yeah,
Look,
in the SEC.
Look,
Yeah.
let me just say for the record, guys, the smallest guy on the field for Alabama was 240 pounds.
Yeah.
Was 240 pounds. That's the smallest guy.
Too many fat guys.
You're talking about the kicker.
Too many. No.
That was the smallest guy
Too
on
many
the
fat
field.
guys. Too many fat guys on the field.
God.
Did Nick Saban outthink
I mean,
himself,
he
or
knew.
did he
I
make
think
a
Nick knew.
strategic error of not having 1 or 2 guys
He
that can
gets
constantly
beat
chase
in
him
a
down?
way nobody has ever been beaten in the history of college football.
I'm with you.
That's what the odds were, Scooter. That's what he was betting on.
Did he make a mistake?
He was
But
betting
again,
on the
he's
odds
the
of that.
master of preparation. The master of preparation. And what did he say after the game?
Oh, he said
What did he
that,
say after the game?
But Alabama did not cover that kick.
That's his
No,
point.
they didn't.
Those linemen
No, they
stood
didn't.
there
They
and
stood
watched
there.
the
That's
kick.
his point.
They didn't cover.
Did he deflect blame?
They didn't think that he was
Because
going
he
to take
said
it out.
we should have covered. We
Yeah.
should have
He should have
covered.
fanned. It's where we should have fanned.
I'm hearing that, and everybody's, Saban's throwing his players on the bus. No, he isn't.
No.
I mean,
Look.
I heard him say that. When I heard him say it, I took it to mean the coaches didn't do a good enough job of making sure
Look,
they did.
Exactly. And maybe he didn't pull them together and say, guys, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Everybody,
Spread.
particularly LSU fans, are having a field day with this because, and I even read in the Alabama papers, Saban got out-coached.
Okay, I don't think he got out-coached.
Here's the deal. Saban proved he was human. And you know in what way?
Yeah.
Every key decision he made Saturday wasn't necessarily good or bad, but every one of them backfired or blew up in his face.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
It's
It
nice
does.
to know it can even
It
happen
does.
to Sir Nick Saban,
Right.
Yeah.
but it's gonna happen.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm not ganging on the Foster kid from Alabama, the kicker. Is he the same kicker that missed the kicks
missed all the
against
kicks.
LSU?
Yeah, but he only missed 1 this year.
Yeah.
In fact, that year he missed all the kicks against
Well, but-
LSU. That was the only game he
Oh, okay.
really.
I'm just
No,
wondering.
it's him. That's him.
Obviously,
you are
Saban
correct.
is doing stuff to win the game, so he pulled him in favor of a kid that may have a little
Had-
bit more
had
legs.
longer distance.
That's what I
Had
got.
longer
Just
distance.
a little more
Confidence.
legs.
Had longer
Something.
distance, too.
I mean, you got 1 second left. What can go wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you say, Rick.
I promise. I posed a question to Matt
Look.
Viator today. Put yourself in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Oh, yeah, what
and
did he
Matt
say?
said, if you think the kicker can make it, you kick it.
Yeah, that's how you
Because
kick it.
the odds
You kick it.
are.
If
the
you
odds
think
are-
the kicker has any chance of making it,
you kick it.
Yeah.
Now, his comment on the return was, and here's the head coach, he was looking at it through CBS's back end zone angle, he said the return guy did a very smart and very well coached thing. He
What,
went
going to the
vertical.
left?
Yeah.
The Davis kid.
No.
Yeah. He went
Davis.
straight
He
up
shifted
and
him.
then
Exactly.
fanned out.
Exactly.
He didn't
Yeah.
go right.
He didn't go
because
to
they
the
were
side.
kicking from the left hash.
The left hash.
Exactly.
Remember.
Yeah.
You all right.
Yeah.
You all
And,
right.
It opened up a
that-
bigger
that's
part
true.
of the field. Yeah.
But I
see. I wouldn't have
That's
thought of
crazy.
that.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of
It's just, I guess when you go back and look at that play, you say to yourself, 4 guys could have made that play. And I mean, it's going to be pointed out. You can better believe. In that film room, it's 4 guys.
Tackles, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Bama side, that should have
think it
made
was
that
that
tackle.
many?
They were loafing, Rick. I'm just going to put it there. They were
Really?
loafing. They were loafing. They
they
were
were
loafing.
watching the kick, and then it's like,
That's what it was.
You got to get on my horse here.
Here he comes.
But
And
I guess from Viator's standpoint, with the return guy, did you play special teams?
yeah.
I guess it's like run up, draw them in, and
Well, Rick,
then it's kind of like a little draw them in and then scoot right.
That's what some of the best return men do. And if you know Trenton Holiday, that's the only advantage he's got because of his size. He's got to make you think he's going in one direction and change on you quick.
Right.
And
And
you
you'll
can't
never catch
adjust. I mean, you can't adjust. And guys that are 325, 350, Rick, it ain't happening.
Yeah, okay.
It's not happening.
All right, so Auburn and Missouri. Who would have thunk it for the SEC championship?
I predicted that in August, didn't I?
Can you believe that?
No pun intended with Missouri.
I'm still shocked because I mean, you know,
Come on,
LSU played. I saw Auburn. I
SEC.
saw Auburn play LSU, of course. I guess it was the last week in September.
Yeah.
I didn't see this coming. I mean,
Nobody did,
Scooter. Auburn looked like if you had asked
Well,
me about Auburn, I'd say, they might end up being a 500 team.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't look that good against LSU.
And y'all laughed at me 2 weeks ago.
Turns
and I
out
said,
to be the only
Gus
game
Malzahn,
they lost.
coach
No,
of
I
the
didn't.
year. He's
I didn't.
coach of the year now.
Oh, I think he is
Forgot
now.
about that.
I think
Look.
he is now.
I'm going to go on there. I think this week right now is the hardest coaching job Gus Malzahn will ever have.
Yeah.
Yep.
SEC championship.
You
baby.
got to put that game
SEC
behind
championship.
Oh, my
And Missouri's hearing all this talk.
Oh, yeah.
Missouri's hearing all this talk. I will be shocked if Auburn beats Missouri.
That's a
in
good
the
football
SEC
team.
championship.
That's a
They are
valid
good
point.
football
Well, we
team.
gotta have-
But I don't know
Scooter.
if they would even have to be.
I don't.
That's a
I
valid
don't, I
point.
don't know. I can't see Mizzou come in here brand new and just walk away with it. No.
Look,
No.
Well, you better get ready. You better get ready for it.
You probably know
No.
somewhat, Kevin.
No, not happening.
Hobbs probably as well. I was lucky enough to be in Alabama for 2.5, 3 years. I covered Iron Bowls. Not a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it didn't take me long. It is the most fierce rivalry in college football.
Oh, there's no
It is
question
the
about
most
that.
fierce. It is when you, to your point, they win
I
that
tell
game
you
that
what,
way. That's their Super Bowl.
It was only a week before the game that they let Harvey Updike out of prison.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't burn the whole campus down.
Look.
Yeah.
Look. They interviewed this guy, and he said, "I'm sorry for what I done. It wasn't right, but I've got to go on air and say it. By dang it, roll tide roll."
You know,
Did he not say that?
What a
Did he not say that?
But Auburn's got to put 24-hour guards by every tree on
What a
campus.
sick dude. All right. So Auburn and Missouri, 2-14
Oh,
in the
my
conference
goodness.
last year, 14-2.
Harvey's a mess.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Look.
Do you give some props to Chiswick? Malzahn's plan was a lot of Gene Chiswick players. How does he turn this team around?
Well, he
like
coached
that?
him, Rick. I mean, you
Well,
got to
he
tell him.
did.
I mean,
I
he
thought he was only
he
gone
coached
1
him. You
year.
got to tell him. He coached him.
Chiswick. Malzahn.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yeah.
still, okay,
Yeah.
he's part of it too. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
he brought in Nick Marshall primarily, okay?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of Auburn players from a bad
It
team
is.
last
It
year.
is.
I
Can
don't
you
know how
believe that
you
a
do
brand new
that.
coach and turn around like
We
that?
were talking about this. That offense. You know, and I'm sure a lot of people run it similar.
Yeah.
With that, it kind of reminds me of the Wildcat that Arkansas ran. Remember the
But if
Wildcat?
you got the right people to
But I
run it, you can
cannot
run
think-
it.
But I don't understand why it's that hard to defend. I mean, I'm a believer now. When Alabama can't stop a
You got
run,
talented players that's running that school. Your
but
quarterback is.
it doesn't look like it would be.
Well,
I mean, what is the key? What makes it so difficult to
You got a
stop?
quarterback that can run a
We're
4-4.
not smart enough.
That's what helps that situation.
But the
Okay?
BCS, Florida State and Ohio State and Auburn #3 this coming week
Yeah.
is the SEC title game in Atlanta. Who would have thunk it? The
No.
Tigers and Tigers.
Can you believe that?
Michigan State's
Unbelievable.
going to beat Ohio State.
Unbelievable. All right, a short
Unbelievable.
pause. When we come back, McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill stops by to talk about the playoffs and so much more going on in Blue and Gold Nation. Stay right here.
Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort, home of Sound Off 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judd, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21, Sulphur.
First year McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill has joined us here at Jack Daniels to talk about the upcoming playoff game this weekend at Cowboy Stadium against Jacksonville State. It's the FCS coming back to town.
Didn't take you long to whip them into shape, did it?
Yeah. I told y'all in the beginning, my job has been not to screw up Matt. Yeah. So he goes 10-2, so I have been successful in not screwing him up.
Bruce, you cannot convince me you've got a lucky charm in your pocket or something.
I'll take whatever credit there is to it, because I know most people are going to be with us win or win.
Yeah.
So
all right,
enjoy the moment.
It's been a 3-year hiatus. How big, in your vast experience, how big is it for this program to be back in the national arena in this FCS playoff?
I think, Rick, for a lot
as one of the top seeds.
I think it's great. We're one of only 16 teams in the FCS level that's playing a game this weekend, being part of it, which is great. It's a chance for us not only to showcase McNeese, Southwest Louisiana, but show the whole country what we've got and what we can do in Southwest Louisiana. With McNeese being away from her for a few years, I think the enthusiasm is even greater than it's been in a long time. You know, too. Our ticket sales are going well.
Good.
Wonderful.
Also, it's great, the ticket sales. All right, take us to a little bit. What are some of the behind-the-scenes stuff you have to deal with what I guess you could call it a non-scheduled game that you didn't know about 2 weeks ago? What are some of the scrambling people wouldn't think about within the athletic department?
What's so different, Scooter? It's a great question, because dealing with an NCAA event, FCS playoff, is so different from a regular season game. So the biggest part of us is not only organizing a 13th game, but the fact of that it's completely different. For instance, no advertising. All the advertising we've been doing around the field, you can't do that for this event. Obviously, our school board has advertising on it. We can't do anything about that, and they understand that. No cowbells for the game this weekend. We can have our cannon, but no cowbells. There's no comp tickets. Everyone who comes in that stadium is either a worker or you have bought a ticket.
Right.
And I think the last thing is one thing that's been so enjoyable is the post game, where you see all the kids roaming the field like we did in our old days. Too, is that now none of that. Cannot have, unless you have a sideline pass and you're a player, that's it. You cannot go on the field. So Scooter, taking care of all the things that we take care of before, making sure we have all our workers there. The fact of that, for instance, alcohol, is that anytime alcohol is served in our upstairs in the press box area, the Sky Ranch, or in the Cowboy Club room, it has to be on what they call an unbranded cup. There cannot be any
advertisement at all.
No advertisement, whatsoever.
Wow, the minutia of the NCAA.
Wow, Rick, that puts it down for one.
So it's
that's fun to listen to the minutia and all.
Yeah.
But don't you kind of think, wouldn't the NCAA have more important things to worry about?
you would possibly think.
But I can give you this is off topic. It wasn't the NCAA, because I remember it was the SEC tournament. And they had in the media workroom, I think it was at Rupp Arena, I forget, but they had Cokes in there. But Dr. Pepper was the sponsor. And so you would get your Coke, but you had to pour it in a cup that didn't have Coke on it to take it to press row with you. Because they would not let you be seen. You know what it is?
Well, that brings up another point.
Two of us wore big old Coca-Cola T-shirts on press row. They couldn't make us take our T-shirts.
Well, that brings up another point, too, is that we were told today we are a Coke product. Coke is sponsored, a big sponsor of the NCAA. Well, Jacksonville State is a Pepsi-sponsored university. So they have to get rid of or cannot use any of their cups or products on
I
the
think they can
sideline.
use their product, but they can't use the product name
Advertisement.
anywhere.
For instance, the Pepsi cups, they can't have those
You know,
on
that
the
happens
sideline.
at the College World Series. I've seen the deal
Yeah.
for that. That it's either, I think Powerade is a sponsor, so they can have Gatorade, but they got to have
Yeah.
a Powerade igloo.
Yeah.
Kevin, get us back to football.
That's crazy.
Get us back to football.
Bruce, glad to have you back.
Thank you, Kevin.
And what a year. Having McNeese getting into postseason and things finally looking like they could possibly go in a positive direction for the Cowboys. What do you see as being the AD as to what it's going to take when we look up in those stands to see nothing but blue and gold? What is it going to take for the people of Southwest Louisiana to say, hey, you know what? Let's go out and support these Cowboys because look what they put on the field for this entire year.
Well, you
What
asked
is
me
it
a
gonna
question similar to that at the beginning of the year when I first got here, a quick 4 months ago. We talked about putting a product on the field that all of McNeese and Southwest Louisiana can be proud of. And I think not only doing it once, but doing it on a continual basis. Continuity breeds success. And I think that we are headed in that direction under Matt Viator. And just being able to continue that year in and year out, too, I think will be a considerable help. Too, putting a product on the field that's not only fun to watch, it's a family atmosphere, and of course winning has a lot to do with that too.
Great deal.
And I think we've got a great start. Not only it didn't start just this year, but I think it's building up to where we can have it on a continual basis.
McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill has joined us, and it kind of segues into my next question. The timing of getting back into the playoffs. It's been 3 years. It needed to happen.
Soon.
It's a tough road to get into postseason play. You know that as a former player and as a longtime administrator, but this is good timing for Matt Viator and this program, is it not?
Well, I think for a lot of different reasons, not only the fact of Matt and McNeese Cowboys football has been successful for a long time, but any time that you can get some lucky breaks, things start working well, you finish with a 10-2 season, winning some close games, too, I think helps us get us back in the spotlight where everyone's saying, hey, McNeese, you're back.
I agree.
Well, no, we never left, but we've taken that next step.
Let me wrap it with this in our final 20 seconds, Bruce. I continue to pound my bell and pound the table. You've got Lamar. Everybody saw. You were there. Lamar is up and coming. UL Lafayette is back in the New Orleans Bowl. That corridor there. This is the Cowboys. This is the Cowboys' niche. The possibility and the opportunity to play for a national championship. And I think getting into postseason and getting in the tournament, you have to elevate yourself, I'm on a soapbox now, from a recruiting standpoint of getting that exposure just in this region. And you can play it off against the Raging Cajuns and the Cardinals because they're on an uptick. They're winning. They're getting better, are they not?
Well,
agree or disagree?
they are, but I very much agree. But you look at, too, what I mentioned a few minutes ago, that we're one of 16 FCS teams in the country. Us and Southeast Louisiana are the only ones that are playing this weekend. So that when you talk about the corridor, open those things up, but to do it on a continual basis, I think is very important. That we can continue to win and that we're seeing that these other teams around us are not there. We are there and want to do that on a regular basis.
Don't forget about Sam Houston. They're in it too.
Well, I'm talking about in Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana.
Bruce Hemphill, we appreciate you coming in.
Good to have you.
Always great to be here.
I know the NCAA is going to be calling you left and right all week, so good luck.
Thanks very much.
All right, 2-minute break. We're coming back to Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
Dr. Cassio was my choice.
Dr. Cassio is my choice.
Dr. Cassio is my choice.
Dr. Brent Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Fellas, finally, you made it.
But what if one of your crew is Questlove?
Then we brought more Miller Lite. Cool. What do you guys want to hear?
What do you got?
Are you kidding me?
Round to Miller Lite from the ladies in the corner.
Hey, boys.
You guys want to hit this house party? It's in Thailand.
Yes.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at Lauberge. Time to stump the wise guys. That would be us. The lovely ladies are here.
Yes.
It's Haley and Cameron tonight, and they are primed and ready.
What could tonight's
Smiling with
topic
pretty
even be
smiles
about?
and-
It's just, what could tonight's topic be about? I'm just curious.
We're gonna
to know.
see. Here we go.
We're gonna
Curious to
see.
know what could
Contribute.
it possibly be about. Let us know, please.
There have been some unbelievable game-winning plays in college and NFL just this season. Here's a test of past fantastic finishes. In 19, this is past.
Past years, okay.
In 1984, Boston College quarterback Doug Flutie, I believe,
Yes, you're right.
threw a Hail Mary pass to beat Miami with no time on the clock. Who caught the famous Flutie touchdown?
His roommate, but I don't know his name.
Phelan.
It was his roommate.
What's his first name?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it was his roommate.
Starts with a J or a G. I don't know.
Gerard.
Gerard, yeah. That was his
Phelan,
roommate,
yeah.
by the way, too.
We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, well, we got that one. We got that one. all the way.
1984.
All right.
Cameron, here we go.
All right.
What Colorado quarterback
Kevin, are you cheating? Why are
I'm
the girls having
listening.
a
I'm
cover?
trying to listen. I'm trying to listen, Rick.
headed a 64-yard Hail Mary pass in the final seconds to beat Michigan in 1994?
Cordell Stewart.
Cornell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart,
Dang, you
yeah.
can't even
Played with
finish
the Steelers.
question.
Yeah. That was
Yes.
a great throw indeed. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
as soon as she
Yes.
said Colorado,
Yeah.
I knew what
Yeah.
the answer was.
Ready
Yes.
for the next one?
Yes.
We are.
Okay. The Bluegrass Miracle of 2002 forever linked two LSU Tigers on a game-ending touchdown pass to beat Kentucky. Who were the two Tigers and who made the miracle possible?
Go ahead, Hobbs.
Okay, it's going to be
Deborah Henderson and Marcus Randall.
Marcus Randall.
I mean, these are
Correct.
Deborah.
Wait, and who made it possible?
And Debbie went on to play with the New
Who
Orleans
made the
Saints, which you all know.
miracle
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
those two, I guess.
It's called the Bluegrass.
Most
It's called the
exciting
Bluegrass.
finish in LSU history? They weren't playing for anything.
Yeah.
They weren't playing for
that was-
anything.
that was-
Yeah,
that was
I
pretty
guess,
exciting.
For one play,
For
yeah.
one play. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here we go.
I mean, besides the Eddie Fuller catch in the back of the end zone, the earthquake game.
But that
was,
wasn't even the last play of the game.
well, no. Okay.
Fantastic finish. Here we go.
Okay.
Last one, Cameron.
Name the two Tennessee Titans at the center of the Music City Miracle finish in a
God
playoff
dog
game
it.
in 2000. And who did the Titans beat in the unbelievable play?
I
I
still
know
say
that.
to this
It was-
day,
wait, look.
it was not a legal play, but okay.
It was a legal play.
No,
it was a lateral. It was behind.
No,
it was.
it wasn't.
The throw was behind
It
him.
was
Yes,
not.
it was, Rick.
It wasn't.
The throw on the kickoff was behind him.
Haley,
Yes, it was.
Was it illegal or not?
I have no idea.
It was legal. It was legal. It was legal.
Let's go back to
I'm
the
not
play.
going to
It was the
remember
wide
names.
receiver.
I'm
It was the
trying
wide
to remember
receiver.
who they beat.
I don't first name. Why check? I don't know his first name. He was a tight
Oh,
end.
man.
He threw it to a receiver.
Receiver, which was
Why check? 80-something
Who
was the
they
receiver.
played?
80.
I can't remember.
We'll give you a hint.
Oh, we got a hint.
yes.
It's your first name.
Kevin.
Kevin.
But what's his last
Oh,
name?
Kevin Tyson. Kevin Tyson.
Dyson.
No.
Dyson.
Kevin Dyson.
Yes.
You're welcome
Yes,
for your one hint.
What's my check's first name?
Oh,
Fred?
Frank.
Glenn?
First one.
Frank? Frank, yeah.
Frank. Way to go, Kevin.
All right, buddy.
We are
Yes.
unstoppable.
We are on a roll.
Only
man. We are
because
on
you
a roll.
got a hint. I
Yeah,
need
I
credit.
appreciate that, too. That was
That's
big
what I
help, too.
was thinking. The
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
Yeah,
they were
Buffalo.
playing the Bills.
Yep.
The
Yep.
Bills.
Yes.
The
Yes.
lovely Bills. Thank you
Thanks,
all.
ladies.
Cameron
Great
and
job.
Haley. All right. We are unstumpable. As
That was
they
pretty
say.
good, though.
All right.
Yeah, that
A
was
couple
pretty
of minutes left, I think. Saints and Seahawks. I keep thinking it's the Kingdome. It's the loudest stadium in the history of stadiums.
How many games have the Seahawks?
They're 10-1.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's on now. We all know you're not watching us until replay.
It's just that, you know.
This is a big one.
Drew Brees has got to be at his best. He's got to be at his best.
This
tonight.
is a big one.
He's got to be.
I just hope. I'm hoping Percy Harvin is not playing.
That's a threat.
He is doubtful tonight.
He's doubtful.
He is doubtful.
But next week, they have already, they have this one, and then they got Sunday's game, and I'm going to the Saints and Carolina Panthers Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll talk about both games, but that could be looming even bigger.
And that's
because the Panthers just won't lose. 8 straight, guys. 8 straight.
That's big.
It is
Cam
big.
Newton.
They're only one
Cam
game
Newton
behind.
is on a home.
All right, in our closing moments.
I think it's their defense more than
Correct
Cam.
me if I'm wrong. Heisman voting is early next week.
Yeah.
We haven't touched on this story.
Scooter, come on, Scooter. Tell us who's going to win.
This is a sensitive story with the
But you know what,
impending
guys?
investigation and sexual assault
And
charges.
I understand all that.
What do you do?
But the thing
I'm
is,
voting for Chris Davis.
great.
Do you
But
vote
Rick,
for
this
Winston
is-
with this hanging over his
but
head?
Rick, let me say, how do you
I
not
have
vote
been
for the
thinking
kid?
about that, and I don't know how you don't.
How do you not vote for him?
I guess they can take it away from him
Yeah.
later.
But
they did Reggie.
How do you-
I never
how do you
figured
not
out
be
how
convicted?
Reggie.
You got to be convicted.
Reggie had to give his back, and yet OJ got to sell his.
I know.
You know.
I can't
A
see how do you not
charge is
vote
not
for
a
him.
conviction.
Well, the thing was, Rick, why did you wait a year later? If I'm doing this right, Scooter, did you wait
Hey,
to accuse
let's
it?
don't try
I mean, did
this
they
case.
wait
Yeah,
a year
it's a sensitive
before they
subject.
even?
There's a lot of
and I
details.
understand
There's
that,
a lot of
but
details.
if you're going to vote on this kid's talent on the football field, he wins it hands down.
He should. But okay.
That's not the question.
I know that, Scooter, but that's what it should be
ever been
voted
to that
on.
place?
But who else?
I have.
Who else
That thing
is
is
there?
crazy.
Who else is there? I'm trying to.
Rick,
who else is there?
Winston's here. Everybody else is here.
I don't know.
Johnny Manziel.
McCarron blew it the other night. He blew it the other night.
McCarron didn't blow it.
Yeah, he blew it. Yeah, he blew it.
Was he supposed to cover that?
No.
$99
But he wasn't.
touchdown.
But
But
McCarron
he
was
wasn't
not in
as
my
on.
top 3.
He wasn't as on as he could have been too. Like you said,
Alabama-
Bama didn't play their best game.
Alabama
Bama
wins
didn't play
that
their
game.
best game.
He had his Heisman moment with the 99-yard
No,
touchdown.
he didn't.
Alabama wins the game. Alabama wins the game. A.J. McCarron is in New York. I'm not saying he would win it, but he would be in New York.
Oh, I think he's in New York regardless.
He might still be in New York.
I think he's in New York. You take 5, baby. I think he's there.
Hey, you're right. They take 5. All right. That's going to wrap up a great show.
He's
Hope
a
you
great
enjoy-
player. He's not a
He is.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Way to say it, Scooter.
He's the
That is
best quarterback in the
Scooter,
SEC.
that is one of the most
That's
profound.
gonna wrap
I've
it up
heard
for
you
this,
say.
and I will be proven right. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Sound Off 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.